Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is issue number 64 of Studio Canal and Hachette's part work, The Terminator, build the T-800. Welcome to issue 64. Assemble the most legendary cyborg in science fiction history, it says down there. Probably, yeah, maybe, I don't know, yeah. It is a half-scale model. If you're new to the series, all of the previous episodes have indeed been filmed by myself, and others indeed. So come back and watch. We are adding another part to the lower right leg this week. I say this week, the issues are weekly, although with the current global everything, it might not be weekly. But yeah, so in theory, this is every week. In practice, it might be a little bit longer than that at the moment, but we'll see what happens. We have 2 screws in there. As with most of these part works, when they supply you with screws, there's normally one more than the one you actually need. So we've got 2 screws. I'm expecting one of them will be spare. So I'll put it over there to one side. We've got the one that I think we're going to be using. So we've got some parts which are a shin piece and affixing a new muscle element to the existing right leg assembly. Now the existing right leg assembly is what we did last time. Now hopefully this is all working and I'm able to put a little picture-in-picture just down here of the instruction manual. So from the previous issue, step 1, from issue 63, we have that. It looks just like that. There we go. And now in step 2, step 1 was just, this is what we've got. Step 2 is actually putting stuff together. So we're using this tube, which isn't great, I must admit. It's got some seam lines down there, but being sort of a chromed plastic, there's not a great deal you can do about it. So we'll have to see how it works, how it looks, what goes together, and how things are going to happen. So it's going into that hole there, by the looks of it. It doesn't actually fit into the hole, but that's how it's definitely lined up in that picture. But first of all, we are taking this. It says use tweezers, but this is massive. You don't need to use tweezers in there. The screw will go into there, and obviously it comes quite nicely flush to the end there afterwards. So that's step 3, is making that look like that. Step 4 is screwing it together. So you have a small screwdriver. Now with this sort of thing, it's often easier to put the screwdriver into the screw before you put anything else, because then you've got a bit more control over what you're doing here. So we can line that up with where it needs to go. Actually, I can even push that through where it needs to go to begin with. There we go. So you can push that in, then get the screwdriver connected to it, and then you can deal with what you need to deal with. Down there, it just says hold it in place, fix it in place. Note that it's not a tight fit against the exterior piece. It's loose. It's not that loose, I just haven't tightened it up yet. So we'll get that tightened down. Being careful, because obviously it's a metal screw going into a plastic piece, so you don't want to over tighten. You'll feel when it starts to bite down tight like that. There we go. That's now tight, but still loose. There's a bit of movement up and down, and obviously it can move in directions as well, but that's the way that is. So that was step 4. Stage complete is putting it down so it looks a bit like that. There we go, that's stage complete. This is again another plastic piece. I'm assuming that that hole lines up there quite nicely, so it's probably going to go together like that at some point in the near future. We shall see. So that's that. Let's put that to one side, because I'm sure we'll be building on that momentarily when the next issue comes out onto the bench. In here we have Ex Machina, which is the sort of robot lady film. Very strange, but very interesting development of AI sort of questions and things. So yeah, there we go. That's that. And then powering the androids of the future. I assume we're talking robotic cars by the looks of it, and yeah, all self-driving. There we go. Batteries, how batteries work. There we go. And that's the end of that. Not much extra information in there this week. As ever, on the back page, it tells us what we're going to be doing next week. In next week's issue, we will be back. It says continuing assembling the lower right leg. So it's basically more of the same. That looks like that piece fits onto there rather than... So it probably does fit where I said, but with that underneath it. Some sort of sheath. another muscle fragment that's going to go into one of the other holes, more screws. So probably another plastic heavy week next week. But that's that for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the build. If you're building along, let me know. Put a note in the comments, or join the Facebook group and everything else. I shall see you soon for issue 65. Stay safe and thanks for watching. Bye bye.